Hello, I hope you're doing well, because I lost all. Um, I'm very late. I ended up making stir fry, and it was quite good, but also meant that I was late. Um, so what ended up happening was I had all the pieces for the stir fry, and then, like an idiot, I'd forgotten chicken. So towards the point where I was going to make the stir fry, I had to leave the house to go and get chicken, because it was the only thing that I needed. And then came back and made the stir fry and ate it. So I'm warm and full and very happy. But I'm also late. Uh, Today, I guess what that means is that we'll probably go for most of the 2 hours. We'll just see how things pan out. Because I got dishes to do before I go to sleep. So, um, we'll see. Today might be a bit of a mess. Yesterday when I left you, we had found a new shrine that we didn't know about because we were just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. I want to say that we've got all of them now. I don't know. I keep thinking that I should count and see how many shrines there are, and see if we've got all of them on our list. One of the things I definitely do need to do is we do need to make sure that we have that list written down somewhere. So one of the first things I'm going to do today is I am going to list out the shrines in one of our spreadsheets, one of our tabs. Maybe what we really should do is we should add it to the city list so we know that we have the shrine for the um, requisite bit. And then we can probably move on from there. I haven't given it too much thought, so we'll see. But the other thing I want to do is there's a couple of shrines that we need to go visit, and then today I am going to actually dungeon delve this, so that's one of the ideas that I had. Because we need to start looking into the dungeons to get stones, I believe it is. And once we got the stones, maybe we can do some meditations, and maybe we can solve some of our problems. But yeah, that's the plan for today. So first things first, I'm gonna do some housekeeping, and then we're gonna get going here. I also have, because my mom is a fan of weird things, she bought me 6 little, I guess they're ostensibly coffee mugs, but I don't drink coffee, but they're see-through, and it's my favorite thing. So I put some tea into a tiny, they're like, I don't know, 3 sips worth of, because they're supposed to be small coffee mugs for expensive coffee, I guess. I've got a small amount of tea and one of these very weird see-through mugs, and it looks amazing, and I love it. Because the other thing is that they're glass, but they're different colors of glass. So there's a blue one and a green one and a purple one, and I have the purple one, and it's very dumb, but I love it anyway. I appreciate you, Mom. Okay, so let me get us going here. So every now and then I'm just gonna mute the microphone, and I'm gonna have some tea in the background because it is still warm and I do want to drink it while it's still warm. Uh, okay. Let me get us out of there and then do that and sort this nonsense out. Okay. And then game scene and Ultima 4 play. Oh, hang on. What am I doing? No, sure. Hold the phone. We don't need this. Let's get out of there. You're gonna see Ultima 4 show up for a second. And then it's gonna blip away. Because I'm an idiot. We were talking about here. I want the map and I want our notes. Okay, so just very quickly, this shouldn't take too long at all. what I want to do is I want to go to the city list here. You see, maybe we just need to add. There's a couple of things I think we need to do now that I'm looking at this. Let me show you what I'm looking at. There's a couple of things I think we need to do. The one is I think we need to split the Scott rune and stone into two, because it turns out that they're different things. So one of these has got to be got rune, and the other of these has got to be got stone, because they are two different things. And then the other thing that I think that it makes sense to do is, oh, not quite there. Insert column before, we want shrine. There we go. And that's just going to be a yes or a no, right? Again. So I'm going to compare this with the map so that we know that we've got all of them. So there should be a shrine to compassion. And I remember seeing that. Yes, we have that. Yes. Or just Y. So we know where that is. There's nothing for Empath Abbey. There should be one for Valor, and I know where that one is. Yes, we got one for Valor. We've got the Shrine to Humility. Well, we don't have the Shrine to Humility, but no, we do. That's correct. We have the Shrine for Humility. We do have this. I don't know if we have the Shrine for Sacrifice. It's near Pause. Huh. I don't know if we have the Shrine for Sacrifice, actually. Oh, I found it. Okay, yes. It's very far away from Pause, though. Oh, sorry. It should be near Monarch. That's true. And then we've got Honesty. Oh, I know what that is. Honesty, yeah. We've got the Shrine for Spirituality, which should be near Scarbray. Is there a shrine that we're missing here? I want to say that we're not missing it. We might not have this shrine. Yeah, we might not have the shrine, actually, because I don't think I remember writing spirituality down anyway. It would be SBIR, and I don't remember actually making a note of that. So it's completely possible that there's still a shrine to discover somewhere. I wonder if we know information that will get us to the Shrine of Spirituality. Like, realistically, I would think that it would be very near Scarbray. And so I guess I need to focus my efforts on looking at that spot. I do want to say that it probably isn't on the actual island. It is not. Huh. Most of these are just sort of by themselves. So it's not like this should be that difficult to... Oh, you know what we never did? Oh no, we did. I was going to say we didn't actually stick in the name for the dungeon shame. But we did actually. I just had my notes off. Yeah, I don't see a shrine that we've somehow missed in our travels. Hmm. Okay, well, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to concede that I don't know where this is. And I am going to look it up. Does this show where... Well, the easiest way to know... Oh, it does. Okay. What I really want, actually, is a map. Okay. What I really want is an interactive map, I guess. I know that I bumped into an interactive map somewhere. There we go. I found it. Very good. Sure. Do that. Um. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Oh boy. I know that I've bumped into a annotated map before. I just don't know where the annotated map is. Okay. That is unhelpful. Okay, I guess what I'm doing is I'm just looking at someone's non-annotated map, and I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. Because I'm pretty sure that we didn't go there at all. Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. Cool. I thought it was on the map I'm looking at. I thought it was thing O, and it's not thing O at all. It's thing E. Thing E? Are you sure though? Yeah, okay. It's. Oh. Well, that can't be right. Hold on a second. Oh, there isn't one to spirituality. Okay, no wonder. Boy, do I feel like an idiot. Alright, so we know where the honor one is, and I know that I have that. That is just. Yeah, yes, okay. And I'm pretty sure that we have the one for justice. Yes, okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, sure. Okay, so let's just boot up the game at last. I can actually, I'll leave the spreadsheet open because what I need to do behind your back is not something that, like, matters. I didn't change any of this map data. Why does it want me to save? I'm not going to save. That seems crazy. Let me get the game up and going. I'm running the game in the background very quickly, just because I want to make sure that I've got. You can't see what I'm doing. That's okay. We've got the two stones. We've got white and black, and we don't know because we haven't been keeping track. We don't actually have all of this data for the rune data. The stuff that should go here. Because we don't know what we have for stones. Okay, I'm gonna very super quickly look up the stones. So we got the white one and the black one. So we got the spirituality stone. Yes. We've got the black stone. We've got the humility stone. So where's humility? Here. Yes. Okay. And after that, we've just got none of the others. So we don't have the one for honesty. We don't have the one for sacrifice. Sorry, hang on, let me do this in the order they're doing it in, because otherwise I'm going to get very confused. We don't have the one for compassion. We don't have the one for valor. There shouldn't be one for Empath Abbey. So I think that we can just list, because there should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be correct. Okay. Cool. So let's get out of there. And let me show you the game. Then let me also actually set up the timer, because that was the one thing I didn't do. Okay, good. Did I? I did. Alright, so when last I left you, we were over here. and we decided that what we were going to do is, with our notes that I have up and going, we were going to go and seek out, there are 3 shrines that we want to go meditate at. I don't think that we can do that though, because we don't have, so it's the shrine of honesty, compassion, and valor, and the problem is we do not have the stones for honesty, we don't have the stones for compassion, and we don't have the stone for valor, so we can't actually go meditate. Okay, cool. So what I think that we're going to do, I don't know if we have information on those specific stones. As in, I don't know if we can go and just grab them, because I don't know if we know where they are. So what I'm intending to do with today, okay, so Jalom had a guy called Bengard, and Bengard, we asked him about dungeons. He said, I found the dungeon Destard. As I found its altar room, we said no. And then he said, find it. We need to come back to him when we have done that. So I think that what we need to start by doing is, that's a connection we can just close. We pretty much know where Destard is because it's labeled on our map. So I wanted to do one very quick thing before we actually go into a dungeon. And that is, I want us to go and get, because we've used black pools before, and what that ultimately means is that we don't have the full complement of runes, we don't have the full complement of gems that we can pair with. So I'm going to get us to Britannia first. I think that's step 1. Can I? Oh, I can. Didn't realize that. That's good to know, actually. I need to start being a little bit more mindful of our food. Oh my god, guy. Don't catch up. It's a bit rude. There's the castle. Okay. So we should have a boat near the castle. And kill these guys off very quickly. We are gonna sleep. We're just gonna sail down to Buccaneer's Den. I'm gonna get, so if you look at our gem situation, we've got 89 gems, and I think that you buy them in lots of 6 or 5. If it's 6, that's frustrating. If it's 5, then that's also somewhat frustrating, but sure, we need to go down to Buccaneer's Den. Like, there's no good reason to go anywhere else. The prices for all of these things are all the same, regardless of where we go. So We may as well just line ourselves up here, go right, get to Buccaneer's Den. And find the... I should say it's been a while. And find the guild, which is up here, I believe, open. Okay, I want... Yes, we'd like gems. B? That's 5. Well, that's cool, because it's 89, and so we can get 10, so yes. Yes, and then B, yes. Realistically, I suppose we should also bump up our keys situation, because our key situation is slowly but surely dwindling. So, yes, let's get keys. 60 GP for 6. Let me just do this, like, math quickly. That's 85, 91. It gets us close, that's fine. Yes. Magic keys. Yes. Okay. No, I'm good. Thank you, friend. Now if only your buddy would get out of the way. Guy. Just please. Thank you. Okay, so here's a thing that I've been dreading all of this game. We are going to go and do our first dungeon, like our first actual dungeon. And I dread the dungeons because I should probably sink the ship. I dread the dungeons because they are 3D, and I do not like the 3D in this game, or any of these games for that matter, because it's cool, but it's also just a distraction. So if we just run due left, where's the dungeon entrance? I came from... Oh, it's around this corner here. Okay, so what did I say was interesting before? You know, we can walk over these tiles. Well, it turns out you can shoot over them too. I didn't know that before. There's an entrance to Destard over here, and I'm going to save again. Okay, so brace yourselves. This is going to be torture. We're going to go through this as if though we don't have maps that we can look at on the internet. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking a lot of screenshots of the small dungeon, such that I have it when I period it through a gem. And then we're just going to navigate to the places that seem interesting. We're just going to slowly dip down one level at a time. Now, in order to do this, we do actually need to mix, because we have 12 light, and that might get us to the bottom, I'm not sure, but I'd like to have more light than what we have right now, because it may behoove us to have, let's say, 30 of them. So that's the plan. So let's start with, first of all, is this actually the entrance to Dungeon Destard? Yes. Because if we go to the wrong place, that's going to be a little bit awkward. Okay, reading game says, "Good day, Lost Wolf. Hello, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well." So we want spells and we want light. And I think light is just sulfurous ash. Yes. Okay. So let's make some light spells. Okay, the other thing I want is I want like a pair of exits maybe. So some of the problem with these dungeons is that we're also going to encounter gremlins. Gremlins don't happen on the overworld, they happen in dungeons, and as we know from other previous Ultima games, gremlins steal your food. So we might be in an unwinnable situation where we need to get out of the dungeon pretty fast. And we need to go and get food. So I want to have 2 exits just in case. We don't also have Z downs, so I'm going to make a couple of Z downs as well. So let's make 1 exit. Well, let's make 2 exits. Sulphurous Ash, Spider Silk, and Blood Moss. So, exit. Sulphurous Ash. Spider Silk, and Blood Moss. Sulphurous Ash. Okay, so we got our 2 exits, and then we want a couple of Z downs. We got 10 yup, just up, and I want about the same down. So it's Spider Silk and Blood Moss. Spider Silk and Blood Moss. Oh, I didn't get that right. Really? Spider Silk and Blood Moss. Oh, I did Sulphurous Ash, which means we threw away Sulphurous Ash. Sorry. So it's Spider Silk and Blood Moss. Spider Silk and Blood Moss. Okay, we are good. I'm gonna save because we spent a lot of our resources doing that. Let's head into the dungeon to start. Okay, so immediately there's a problem. We're going to cast light. And this is the dungeon map, so we're going to be working with this. Now I don't know, and it might be an issue, and we may need to check. See how this is a repeating tile pattern over and over again. I don't know, and we're going to look very quickly before we do anything else, just so that we don't waste resources. If this repeating tile pattern, if we move northward, will move with us in the overhead view. I'm going to start by taking an image of this. I immediately see a lot of interesting things happening here, things that we don't actually know about, that we need to learn a little bit more about. So I assume that 2 north of us, on the left and on the right, those are invisible walls, and we can go through them to get to the what look like stairs that are going downward, perhaps. We'll see in a second, because we'll move off with a square, but I think that there are multiple exits up, because you can see that we are on a ladder, our tile is on a ladder, and there are multiple arrows upward. So I think that what we're looking at here is a situation where the game wants us to go to the correct downward stair. This is like a little puzzle, and once we get to the correct downward stair, we will be ready to face whatever is on the other side. And if we get to the wrong downward stair, I'm just going to assume that what it's going to do is trap us. So let's start by getting this into paint.net. And let's just venture forward like 2 steps. Oh, okay, so I was worried about this. We're not actually oriented north, we're oriented east. And I guess I could have checked that with the compass, which I don't actually have. But what we've learned now is that the image of the map will travel with us when we go left or right. Now I think, and I'm not sure that I'm strictly correct in thinking this, I don't know if the right we're seeing, the squares on the right here, where the big hollows are anomalous. I don't know if these are crosses that the game is not rendering properly. So, let's start by going to one of these big squares in the line that we're in. So we need to travel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares in the direction that we're going in. 4, okay, sure. Okay, so I think my supposition about the down arrows is correct. Or the up arrows, I should say. The up arrows on our screen when we appeared in the gem were dungeon exits, and these all lead upward. Okay, so that's fine. We've traveled. Okay, we've also learnt an important thing about what I was seeing. So I'm going to bring up a gem here so you can see it. So remember when we peered and we saw anomalous looking rooms on the right hand side? It was just the renderer, the game's renderer, not actually parsing what it was seeing correctly. Because we've walked from one set of stairs, the one on the very left in the middle, to the set of stairs that we're looking at the moment. And so this is just a wall that will wrap. I don't know how big this wall is. That's some of the issue here. It may be that this is just 3x3. But we need to go into one of these doors. So I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to just go into here. Right, so I was also correct in assessing these are stairs down. So we've learnt 2 of the symbols now. Stairs up, stairs down. Okay. Let's go descend. And I was 100% correct. So when I said that what will probably happen is we'll end up in a situation where we're trapped, that's exactly what happened. We need to find the correct square that leads us downward. We are facing south here. So we need to turn once, and I think that will face us in the correct direction. Yes. Hello, friend. I see what look like a pair of doors, so I'm just gonna follow up on both of those. Give me that. And I think I'm facing... Oh no, I don't want to be here, sorry. I want to be here. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize it was going to do that. You're not going to see this because it's going to happen too quickly, but it actually rendered the stairs correctly because it was in the center of the tile. If I go north, is that correct? Yes. Okay, so this looks like in Ultima 3, when we came to these things, they looked very much like this when they wanted us to get a brand. Now this game doesn't have brands, so I don't think that this is a brand. I think this is something else. Get. Open. I wonder what this is. Is there a command? There is a... I'm gonna search, actually, search. A fountain. You find a fountain. Who drinks? Black. Nasty. Okay. So I think that actually hurt us. I don't know. But we've learned an important life lesson. I want to show you what we've learned. Whenever we see the word F, it means fountain. Okay, that's, I guess, good to know. There's a stair going down here, and I think we're just going to take it because it takes us to floor 3. Oh, hi. Oh my god. This is the bridge wall problem times 1,000. I mean, it's doable, it's just also very dumb. Okay. I think we can just leave the screen. And then this then is the dungeon, oh, not the dungeon exit, but it takes us down a little bit. Okay, we're seeing a couple of new symbols here. Some of this just makes sense, right? If we look at what we're seeing, it looks to me like the dollar symbols are just chests. There's a new symbol that we don't know about, so let's go and learn about those. Oh, hi. Okay. Oh. Okay. We also learned another life lesson here, and that is that these squares are fixed, and so we need to be mindful of them. Please connect with us, man. Okay. Oh, that's very frustrating. So what it does, I'll explain what's going on here in a second. And why this is frustrating and bad design. I think I need to exit out this way. Yes, okay. So what was frustrating there, and I didn't immediately realize it, is that the exit that you pick out of there actually puts you on the following tile. We need to be at the square on the right here, because that takes us downward. But I want to see what's going on with... Oh, I don't know if I want to do that fight again. And the other thing I'm starting to realize is that I don't know if it will... So I'm facing westward right now. I don't know if it's going to render the room as me coming into that room from the left-hand side. Sorry, no, from the right-hand side. Let's see what we get. Oh, okay, it does render me as that way. Sure. This is sort of a mild fishing expedition because we need to know what the symbols mean. And we need to kind of understand how the game handles that. So this is not entirely our actual run. It's sort of like a trial run. Okay, so over here, there's this thing. We don't know what it is. Search. You find a magical ball. Who touches it? Oh, we should be careful of those. Those don't respawn, I don't think. So, what happened here is our strength went from 28 to 33. What it will also do, I think, is it will drop other stats. So I think we need to be mindful of those, and we never need to touch them again. Because some of the problem is that on our magician, it doesn't actually matter whether or not we raise our strength. What matters is that we raise our MP, right? That makes sense. So I think that was a bad life decision, but that's okay. We're learning about the map. I want to say that this is just a chest, yes. Am I at the right spot? Yes. Oh, okay. Our light wore off. Okay, so we're gonna come in from the top here. I need to be mindful that if we're in a dungeon like this, we don't have infinite resources. How many heals do we have? We have a fair number. We're gonna double heal. We want to be out here. Okay. See what we got here. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's just a bunch of money. That's not too far from the entrance, actually. Which way am I facing? Okay. There's gonna be a fight here, though, to get to that. Oh, God. There are so many of them. Oh, it's a phantom. The thing I'm worried about here is that we might get a little bit overwhelmed. We might get very overwhelmed. Hang on. I wanna try and get us to a point where we're at like 300. And I'm gonna try and blast our way out of here. Okay, we need to heal again. Okay, so this game is doing a cardinal sin. It believes that difficulty is throwing numbers at you, which is a design I do not like. It's very early in video gaming's life though, so it's not surprising that they're doing this, but it is frustrating. This is a fight that's sort of designed for more people than one. Which way do we need to go? Oh God, I think that the door that we're looking for is downward. Yes. Okay, we need to be careful of going out this door. So I'm gonna heal us a couple of times here. And now I need to think about what we're seeing. Hold on. We need to go to the left when we get out of here. Okay. Okay. So if we go around the corner here, these are probably gremlins. We should, yes. Okay, so now I see two entrances, exits down. So, yeah. It's interesting to me, I guess what it's still doing behind our back is that it's reading that there's one character. So for fights that generates, like the one that we saw now, it just goes, cool, you need to put two adversaries on the screen. When it's a fixed fight, like going through a door like the one on the left-hand side over there, what I think it does is it has a set battle, and you need to just be ready for that whenever it arrives. So let's, yeah, we want to not go into the store. We want to actually avoid the door if we can. So we're gonna go up and then left, because that gets us to a, yeah, I 100% think that's a gremlin. And we mustn't let it close with us. because it will steal our food. Okay, descend. This is all 6. We have not seen T's before, so I don't know what those are. But there's also bad nonsense here, in that this is not a stare down. So I think that what these are is they're going to be darkness. Yes. It's wind. Okay, so we've learnt what that specific thing is. And I think that because we're on the wind square, it's just going to keep blowing the candle out. Or, in this case, our light source. So, if we go... We can try going into the door on our left. So, we go... And then up this way. I'm just going to descend. We're going to appear... Ah, okay, that's a little bit more helpful. Because now they're down. Okay, so... Let's pick this one first. Oh, easy enough. There's going to be a set battle in a second at the store. Let's heal up. About 4:45 should be okay. I'm gonna try and rest. Oh, you can. I didn't know that. That's somewhat good to learn. Can you save? You can. Okay. So this game is a lot more gentle than some of the other Ultimas that we faced. In the other older Ultimas, 2 things would occur. You couldn't rest in dungeons, and the other thing is you couldn't save a dungeon. So dungeons were an expedition where you hoped that things worked out, and if they didn't, well, they didn't. Am I just walking across here? If so, then cool. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's just putting me to sleep. It's a Reaper. Oh, you know what I think this is? This is the thing that the Reaper itself was trying to warn me about. I don't think this will be a significant problem, and it wasn't, except that it did poison me. Yes, we need to be here, or... these are bats, I think. Oh, these are insects. We mustn't kill the insects. Ah. Well, I mean, I guess that's just what we're doing. Okay, this is kind of awkward. There's, this is level 8. But I don't think that this is the altar room. It might be. It may be that this game just hides the fact that the altar room is here. So let's go forward. And then let's turn right here. And there's a hidden wall there. Oh, yeah, you see, I don't really want to kill the insects. Okay, this is just a door. That makes me worried, because that implies... No, it doesn't make me worried, actually. Because there's no... If we walk through the store, if you look due up north through the way we came in here, it was through a hidden door. There's no hidden door there. This is just a trap. This is a Final Fantasy II trap, where, if you'll recall in Final Fantasy II when we played that game, the game loved giving you empty rooms to go into so that it would sap your resources. This is that trick done again, right? So in our fishing expedition, what we kind of learned is that in the dungeon Destard, and this is a good thing to learn, incidentally, there are various ways down, and one of the things I was just going to do was I was going to drop us from floor to floor using Z up and Y up and Z down to get us to the dungeon altar room, but I don't think that this game will allow for that, because if you stand on the dead center of the starting level 1 tile and you drop, there's no guarantee that you'll end up in the spot where the altar room is. The altar room is somewhere on level 8, but maybe not here on level 8. Level 8 might be bigger than what we're seeing. I don't want to leave the dungeon Destard immediately, so I'm going to check our homework. I'm going to take a 10-minute break very quickly, and when I come back, I'm going to just see what the dungeon Destard's layout looks like, and I'm going to see if there is another way to approach the altar room that isn't what we're looking at here. So give me 10 minutes, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let me get the game up and going, and then tell you about me checking my homework. So, I learned a couple of things by checking my homework, and really, I sort of wish I hadn't, but I also am glad that I did. So the first thing that I learned, and I guess it's interesting to relay this because it does actually confirm a suspicion that we had. So remember, so we are looking at this screen where we've got me facing downward at this door here. Now, at the end of every dungeon, there's always an altar room, right? And what it's done in Destard is it's layered the puzzle of where the dungeon room is. So it turns out that much like in Final Fantasy II, there are fake rooms, and those are purely there to sap your resources. The fake rooms in this particular dungeon are all on the left of the hidden wall. So if we'd entered into any of the rooms on the left over there, we would just be fighting battles, and that's all that there would be to that. The other thing that I did learn is that this dungeon tile that we're about to step on here is actually the altar room, but I also learned another important thing. One of the things that I had been supposing is that when you hit level 8 of any particular dungeon and you get to the dungeon altar room, you would always find the stone for the dungeon in that room, and that's not the case. What it turns out Ultima 4 is doing is it's putting these things on different floors. So the stone's always on different floors, and in this case we needed to be one up from where we are right now. We needed to be on level 7. But I'm going to take us into the dungeon room because I want to show off kind of how the dungeon room works. So let's go into the store. There's probably going to be a fight at the end of this. Yes, there is. That's fine. Okay. Search? Oh, okay. I think we need to go south. Which way did we come from? I think it's south. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this now is the exit from... This is the altar room, right? And the altar room has exits that lead outward to other dungeons. So you can see here there's a bunch of arrows over here, and I suspect that these are the arrows that take us to different dungeons. There's also entrances out, so you can see that there's a couple of arrows upward, and those would take us out. Now I'm not sure if I'm understanding this correctly, because the dungeon layout that I'm looking at on the internet doesn't actually show off this room here specifically. So I don't quite know. I don't quite know. Let's look at this. I'm not sure I'm understanding what I'm reading. Each altar room, I'm going to read the description very quickly just so that we get an idea of what we're looking at. We know this from our notes. This is not a spoiler, right? There is some amount of spoiler nonsense in here. It's just a wiki, and so it gives away the entire setup of what's going on here. and that might be frustrating for us to learn, but it is important that we kind of know what we're dealing with here. So I'm going to read this and then skip past the next bit because it's much more explicit about what we're seeing, and then I'm going to look at the images and be very confused. So it says each altar room is linked to the 4 dungeons which oppose the virtues connected to the principle which is also embodied. So what it's saying here is, let's say that we are in the dungeon Destard, like we are at the moment. Okay? Destard is linked to courage, which is a principle, and because Destard is linked to courage, the opposite things of courage in this case are shame and covetous, and those would be different virtues, those opposing virtues, right? And we need to understand this is actually the diagram, and I don't really need to be seeing this, but the way this works out is that if we go from Destard, we can get to shame and covetous and Hylosos, because that's always in the center. So the altar room of truth and passage leading to the dungeons, deceit, honesty, wrong, justice. So it's actually, where's the one I'm looking for? Where's Destard? Destard. There we go. So Destard is valor, and we know that it's valor because that's kind of where we're starting off. And then we got shame and covetous, which is other dungeons. So there you go. All altar rooms also linked to the dungeon Hylosos, which connected itself to all 3 principles due to its opposition to spirituality. Using these altar rooms, the questing stranger would be able to quickly traverse the dungeons of the realms and could access dungeons whose entrances have not yet been discovered. Now we're going to go from the dungeon entrances downward, because I think that makes the most sense, but this diagram here that it's making is the important thing that we needed to know at the end. Each of the dungeons except for the Great Stygian Abyss are linked via the altar rooms. Each exit of an altar room leads to a distinct dungeon. By entering an altar room from one dungeon, one may quickly travel to another dungeon by exiting in the correct direction. The tables below document which exit leads to which dungeon. Now I think that what it's saying, if you pay this image some attention that we have up on the screen, it means that if we go into any of these doors at all, it doesn't matter which door we go into, if we exit out of one of these doors, we will end up in another dungeon. So I think that what is going on is, if we step through here, okay, I am sorely mistaken. I'm gonna kill these guys off super quickly. And then grab the 2 chests. Okay, and then we're gonna get out of here. Oh, weird. I guess this makes a certain amount of sense because these doors were just clumped up together. So if we go down here, we end up back in the dungeon, right? So if we go around this corner here, yes. Oh, I think that what that's showing us is it's a force field. So if we look at this, we are in a force field. Okay. Huh. Maybe what we need to do... Oh, I need to go and then here. Oh, I don't want to fight these guys. I want to go rightward. Yes. And then up. And I think... Oh yeah, that's just poison, isn't it? Okay, so I think this is our exit. Because each, as far as I'm aware, right, each exit leads... So if we walked backward, we would stay in the dungeon to start. If we walked leftward from where we are right now, we are in Destard. We're in Destard, so if we left... If we leave... I don't know how to check this, actually. I actually don't think that we are where I think we are. I should have read the message that came up when we walked in here. I'm gonna walk back out here. And then we're gonna walk in the altar room of truth. And that is where we started, right? No, we're now in deceit, actually. Okay. So we're in deceit. Yes, okay, the altar room of truth. We want to go... Oh, we can't actually get... Well, not without work. Okay, so let's just... fight this fight super quickly. We're gonna go this way. This way leads to Hylosos. Okay, so now we're in Hylosos. Yeah, there we go. Into Dungeon Hylosos. And from Hylosos, we want to enter the room that's behind us again. So here... Oh. What? I'm so confused. We're in this fight, actually. Because I think we might die. The guy to our north is trying to flee. Yeah, there he goes. So if we go... We're at Hylosos, right? Oh, I don't know if I know... We're at Truth. How do I get from where I'm at, which is Truth, to... I want to end up at Destard. So to get to Destard... I think I just leave out the north. Oh no, now we're in the dungeon to see. Great, cool. This is very confusing. Oh, I think I can go from deceit to... Oh, I think I understand it. Okay, it's a bit weird. I can go from deceit to shame and then from shame to Destard. So if I go in... now... Let me just look at what we're facing here. Yeah, okay. Need to heal. Okay, so now we are... We want to go to shame, because shame is on the way back to where we need to be. So we need to go to the dungeon shame. And the dungeon shame is on the east of us. Okay, so if we go out here, we should be in the dungeon shame now. Yes, leave room into dungeon shame. Okay, cool. So now if we go into the dungeon shame. Oh, you know what I think? I actually think there might be 2 altar rooms in every dungeon. Yes, I think that there are 2 altar rooms in every dungeon. There's the altar room that... So, there's the altar room that takes you to Hylothos, and then there's the altar room from some of the dungeons that takes you to some of the other dungeons. So, we are in the dungeon shame. And from the dungeon shame, I want to go to deceit. And I think, but I'm not correct, that this is just north. Yes, okay, now we're back at Destard. Oh my god, okay, that was a bit of a thing. How many heals do we have? Not enough. Okay, so from Destard, what we need to do, if you look at this map here, you can see that there's a hidden room over there, and I think we need to actually be in that hidden room, because I think that will take us up to level 7 and make us be in the correct spot. So if we just go through this wall here, and then we go, oh god, hi. You just came out of nowhere, didn't you? Oh lord. Please wake me up inside. I can't wake up. Uh-oh. Oh boy. When I do wake up, it's going to be a problem. We might die here. I might not be awake for long enough to kill these people. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, wake up, buddy. 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 Oh, Jesus. Well, okay, that ended our expedition quite badly. But that's okay, because it erases all the nonsense that we had trying to navigate the altar rooms. Because I think it will just put us in the dungeon. Yes, okay. So we're on level 7. Okay, so the thing about level 7, this is where I actually wanted us to be. So the thing about level 7... Where's... here. The thing about level 7 is that there's a secret entrance that takes us below where we are. So where we are right now is just a part of the level, right? Yeah, that we're just at a part of the level. So what we need to do... Because there ain't a hidden room here. I think that what we need to do... is we need to go up. Yes, we need to go up. So if we go here and then we go up here, we can climb this ladder. And now we need to take this ladder here. And this ladder is... what am I looking at? I don't understand what I'm looking at. I'm a little confused because this isn't actually on the list of things I'm supposed to be looking at. Hold on. Oh, I don't understand what I'm looking at. Because the link to the room that I entered into doesn't actually take me where I want to go. Oh yeah, wow. Oh, I'm an idiot. Hold on, wait. Let me just climb this ladder. Go here. I'm misunderstanding the instructions completely. So if we're here and we go, oh my god, and we get off that tile, we turn, I think it's right, we go this way. Yes, perfect. So now we are gonna descend. This is correct, right? Oh no, this is not correct. Let me get out of here. Let me read this properly. It wants me... I'm on level 5. That is correct. So on level 5, I'm taking a western ladder down, which we've done, right? We don't want to mess with the orbs quite yet, because I want to do science with those. Then we go up and we take the northern ladder back to level 6. So we go here. And then I think that the way we're supposed to go is north. And then we go here. Oh, sorry. And now there's 2 ladders. Take the western ladder down to level 7. So that's just this ladder, right? Oh, wrong door. Oh my god. That's just this door. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna descend. And somewhere in this mug... I think it's all the same. I think it is all the same. So if we go, it doesn't matter how we go. So I'm gonna turn around here. We're gonna go here. And this leads us into a door. And it doesn't really matter which door we go to. Yes. If we search here, you find the redstone. It's dark. Okay. That's what we came here for. Okay, so we have the redstone. We didn't learn anything about the redstone, actually. How am I going to decide? Wait, let me just do some sleuthing very quickly. I'm looking at our connections. I'm going to see if we know about the redstone. Red is for valor, a virtuous avatar. Art thou an avatar? We answered no. Then thou shalt need the redstone. Okay, so this is valor. Right, so that is actually helpful, because this tells us that we have the stone for valor. Thank God we're taking very extensive notes. That's all I can say. So valor, we have the stone for that. Sure. Now, we need to get ourselves out of here. Cast, exit. Okay. Let's rest. There was actually a thing that we could close up by having the redstone. And I'm just gonna do that very quickly. This is X. Oh, we can't do this actually. Thou shalt need the redstone and one altar rune to get the third part of a key. So what we need to do at some point, I don't know when we're going to do this, maybe we'll do it when we have all the stones, or all the stones that we can get, is we need to dip down to all of the altar rooms to check where we can find the key that it's talking about. Okay, so we need to go to Jalam, because in Jalam there's a guy called Gravnor. Gravnor told us about the stone that was in the dungeon Destard, and so we need to go and talk to Jalam, to Gravnor and Jalam very quickly, because we can knock this off and tell him that we have got the redstone. Our boat was to the east. Wait a second. Where's our boat? Oh no. Of course. I was pretty sure that we parked it kind of due west of where we were, and we just made our way. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's correct. Because yeah, there we go. But we had to go somewhat south to get to the dungeon. That is 100% spot on. So, I just want to check with my map that I recall where Jalam actually is. Yes. So Lord knows, I don't want it to lead us specifically astray. I don't know if we're going to be able to get... No, we're not. We're going to have to go around. So, after having experienced a dungeon, I do want to say that the dungeon setup in this game is a little tamer than the dungeons that we faced in Ultimas 1, 2, and 3. And I think that's good. I still don't like them because they're 3D and it's very difficult to tell what's going on. But I think that this specific sort of map that they have going on for this particular game is a little bit cleaner than what we've experienced before. I think it also helps a lot that I've just got like a metric ton of gems, and so it obviates the need to worry about dungeon layouts. Does that mean I intend to go through every dungeon a piece at a time? No, not really, because quite frankly, that seems scary to me. I don't know where we are. It might be that we're at the little continent for Valor. No, I don't think we are. Oh, we are. Yes, because this is the Shrine to Valor. Hey look, it's another one of our boats. Hi boat, how are you doing? Exit. Let's go and talk to Gravenor. I don't remember if Gravenor is in here or not, that's the problem. So we need to find the entrance into this set of walls that ran around Geelong, where there was a little wall thing that we could enter somewhere. Yeah, because I want to say that Geelong was the spot where there were walls running all the way around, right? Because there were keepers of the walls here, like there, and if we went north, we would enter into there. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe there's just this spot here, and this is where you buy. This is not the guy. Maybe it was magical items. Name? He says I am X. We can't do X's issue yet. Bye. I have no idea why it's so Oscar. We don't need you. We're looking for Gravenor. Name? Sir William. Slide is not the guy. Name. This is Aesop. We don't need Aesop. Luke. That's Lady Donna. Gravenor. Okay, so when we talked to Gravenor and we say stone, he says, it is found in Norther. Dost thou have it? And then this was the thing that we bailed on, because we said no here first. So I'm going to just say yes here. I want to see what he says. Oh. What? There we go. Okay. So we're going to say yes. No wonder I can't find it. Oh, well, I thought that would... I thought that would lead somewhere. We said yes. He told us. No wonder I can't find it. Okay, so there isn't actually a follow-up here. And so we can just remove this line here. Delete those. I'm going to copy this line into connection start. We need to find Gravenor. Okay. So we can close off Gravenor now. And we can do the same here. Okay. We also need to, in Jalam, find Bengard. Because we've been into the altar room now. And that means that we can talk to Bengard about it. Open. Bye. Open. Oh yeah. We'll draw it. No. I don't know if we're gonna find Vanguard without difficulty. Wasn't there a person out here? Oh, okay. Well, I definitely thought that there was a way in here. It's also completely possible that Bengard is one of the dying people. Yes, okay. So when we spoke to Bengard, he says, I found a London Destard. Has thou found its altar? We said no. So we need to actually clear that out, because we did say yes. We should say yes, because we have figured out what the altar room is. So let's do this. Okay. So we said dungeon. I found a dungeon to start. Hast thou found its altar? Yes. It connects with covetous, shame, and harmful. Okay, that is actually interesting and useful information. If we had not gotten that already by looking at the massive spoiler, this is actually one of the things that's going to lead us to untangling a little bit more of that diagram. So we're going to say yes. And then he says it connects with covetous, shame, and height, loss. Okay, that's pretty cool. We can just yank out this. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. So let's delete that. And we can actually close off Vanguard now, because we've got everything that he was going to tell us. Vanguard. There we go. Sure. So I'm going to close off on our actual spreadsheet for Jalam. I think those are the only two things that we need to worry about in Jalam anymore. Where's Vanguard? Okay, so, oh. I've got the stuff for Grabnor, but not the stuff for Vanguard, and I just stuck like a thing for Gravnor into Vanguard's nonsense. Okay, so I want to grab this and this. Okay. I am actually going to close off all of this. And we need to go and get Vanguard's information from... Oh god. Connection start. Where's Vanguard? Need to go back to Jalam. Okay, so that closes off Vanguard. Okay, cool. So let's look at what we're doing tomorrow, because we're almost at the end of today's stream. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go buy more gems. And we're going to go and buy maybe more reagents, because we're running slightly dry on heals. So what we're going to do... Okay. We can't do this. It says in, this is... Shari says, in Altar Room of Courage, use the red, orange, purple, and white stones. So we don't have all of those. If we look at our inventory... If we look at our inventory, we have red and the white and the black stone, but we don't have orange, and we don't have purple. So let's see which dungeon... Okay, so we've got a direct line to the Yellowstone, which is, according to Joe, who is in Britain, he says that the Yellowstone is in the dungeon to spies. So I think tomorrow, that's just what we do. We're going to, you know, go and grab all the stones that we can grab when we know where they are. So I think that's the next major thing that we need to do. So we're going to get that done. So that sets us up. The one very quick thing I want to do here, let me just see what we're doing for spells. Oh wait, hang on. I need to look at gems. Wow, we blew through a lot of gems. We blew through 44 gems because I was like, everywhere we walked, peer at the gem, peer at the gem, peer at the gem. Because I really have a hard time with no map in games like this. So, okay, let's get ourselves to... Let's get ourselves to Buccaneer's Den. I'll blow the ship up so I don't kind of forget that it's there. Hold on. I need to go to the east, don't I? Because our big old landmass is here? Oh, I've caused us some distress. H.E. Willard says, oh hey, I'm just looking in the background. That's absolutely okay. Everybody Gamer says, I was watching someone that streamed themselves speedrunning Space Quest 3. Some brutal deaths. You might have been watching H.G. Willard, actually, because he is learning that game at the moment. Everybody Gamer says, oh, speak of the devil. Hey, yeah, see, there you go. I know that H.G. Willard is doing that because I'm in a Discord where he also is. And he was, like, stating his intent to actually try that. And, all I can say is that the folks who do that have a lot more stamina and patience than I do. I have a lot of patience. I'm not good at trying to do things quickly. As we're learning, because we're playing Ultima 4 and it's been almost 30 sessions, so we're closing in on 70 hours. So I have a fair amount of patience. I'm just not very good at going fast. Cambridge Gamer says, what timing HC? And HC Willard says, I got 14:30 yesterday, which is second place. Oh, that's very good. HC Willard says, first is 11 minutes something, and I'm kind of worried I won't get there, but I'm willing to try. Yeah, I mean, the worst thing that you can do is, you know, set up to try and then give up seconds in because it's too difficult. It's possible, right? And 14:30 is pretty good, because you've just, I think that you've been practicing the game offline quite a bit, to the best of my knowledge. So these are your runs that you're doing on stream, so you can get them verified. That sort of stuff takes, you know, just patience and a willingness to learn the game very, very well. So for what you've been doing and for the short amount of time that you've been doing it, you've been doing excellent. So it's awesome. H.E. Willard says, I like speedrunning Space Quest because the deaths make it harder and more impressive, I think. Yeah, so one of the things that's immediately apparent, because I watched a little bit of your stream yesterday as a highlight. One of the things that I realized immediately is that in that specific game, there's a lot more RNG than you would think there would be. Because, like, just thinking about Astro Chicken, right? To get the message if you're doing 100%. That's all RNG, because you might get bad drops out of Astro Chicken. And then you just, you know, it slows the run down a lot. Or you might get bad RNG at the end when you're fighting against what's his face in the mech suit. And so there's a lot of weird RNG in that game. So much more the Roman Assassin is huge too. Yes, right. Because, so for those people who don't know this game super well, there's a point in the game, we played it before on stream, there's a point in the game where you land on a planet, and it is somewhat scripted when the robot shows up, but he can also take his time. And then once he's taken his time, that knocks your time down. But there's a follow-up where you go up some stairs, depending on how you kill him. And he can take his time coming up those stairs too. So there's a lot of RNG in Space Quest 3 that you wouldn't think is there just from playing it casually. Or not getting the Scorpion, or the Starfighters at the end, and the big robot fight with Elmo. Yes, I was thinking of Elmo earlier when we were talking about the mech fight. We want to be here. And I want to talk to this guy. Yes, I'd like to see your magic gems, please. We are about to lose money here because I'm just going to buy 99 gems because we need them. So we're going to throw away 5 gold, but I'm willing to do that, yes. Okay, sure. So now we're at 99 gems. Maybe we should just get the maximum amount of keys. We'll be throwing away 15 gold, but that's okay. No, I'm good. Oh, we didn't do science when we were at the dungeon. Ah, we're gonna have to do that at some different point. There were orbs, and then orbs set your strength up, and I don't know if the orbs respawn. I was planning to do that, and then didn't. Okay, well, we're in the boat. And tomorrow we're going to go into the dungeon to see. That's what we're going to be doing. H.E. Willard says I have a strat for him to show up, but it's nice when he shows up quickly. The problem now is I'm hooked, so I'm sure I'll be speedrunning more games now. That's awesome. I know it's a difficult speedrun, but if you know King's Quest 1, it's not an easy speedrun, because those folks have got that time shaved down pretty well at this point. But if you know King's Quest 1 fairly well, I guess, that's because it's all you're really, for the most part, memorizing is zips. It might be an easy speedrun to start with to learn how speedrunning works, because I want to say that I'm correct in thinking that there's no major weird nonsense in King's Quest 1. It's all just memory. But I haven't watched a world record for King's Quest 1 specifically in a very long time, and it may have changed. Like, one of the things that they try and avoid in that specific game a lot is going up the beanstalk, because the beanstalk is nonsense. But it may be that it's different now and everyone does the beanstalk, because technically it's the easiest way to get full completion with 100% of the points. So, yeah. We will be doing this tomorrow. Alright, so let me say goodbye to you all. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it so much. Sorry about showing up late, but as I said at the beginning of the stream, I was on my way to making a stir fry, and I'd gotten most of the way through getting all the stuff out to put into the stir fry, and realized that I didn't have, like, I've got chicken, but it's all frozen for the most part, because I keep it just ready for when I need it. And I didn't have defrosted chicken, so I had to go out the door, get the store, come back. And by the time I was done cooking, it was very late. So here we are. Hopefully tomorrow is not quite like this, but we'll see. We're going to just dungeon dive until we run out of dungeons to do and things in the dungeons that we can find. Because there's stuff that opens up once we do the dungeons, like one of the things that we got told is if we use the correct stones at the correct altars, we will get items for that. So we're just going to keep piling into that sort of thing. But yeah, thank you for being here today. I appreciate it so much. Please have a wonderful evening. Please stay safe. I shall see you all soon. Good night for now. H.C. Willard says later. You too.